Alright, what's going on, yo? I found a fucking gem, and I want to share it with you guys here in this video. I also found another clean jump shot that works really nice with the gem. Trust me, you're gonna want to watch. I also want to mention that some of y'all been asking me for a while to do a meetup. Alright, if y'all are from the Toronto area, come the fuck through. Link is gonna be in the description. I was telling my guys over at World Gaming, yo, I'm coming to the event, and they're like, why don't you just do the meetup here? And so that's exactly what the fuck we're gonna do. I'm chilling with viewers all day. The event is gonna be lit. So link is in the description if you guys want to check it out. Let's get into it. Now y'all know I'm almost always fucking with new releases, trying some new shit because I want to have a catalog of releases. Now, ever since the park has been laggy as fuck, I need to start making my new catalog, right? And so I've been trying to find what works best. Now, if y'all remember, a couple weeks back I did this video here where I was using the nade jumper. The nade jumper basically took Nade's IRL jump shot and I created this bitch. I put Magic Johnson at the end of this bitch like it was just one big joke. It turns out Magic Johnson might be the fucking key to making my shots. I haven't been as phenomenally precise as I was in the past because now I need to find new releases with different cues because I have to account for latency and delay when I'm playing on the park. And Magic Johnson, I found, is like a buffer. Now watch this. Now if you guys take a look at this video, this was the nade release. I was shooting straight greens. I didn't edit out a ton of misses. I was legitimately straight out fucking balling that video, and it caught me by surprise. And so a release that I never even once in my life considered looking at, now I'm taking a look at. And so if we head to the jump shot creator and just equip a full Magic Johnson release real quick. Alright, this entire release is Magic Johnson. I want y'all to take a look at this form. Now, I'm not recommending y'all do this because it's too slow. He ends up shooting with one hand. But I found that there's a neat little buffer at the very end of his release that makes it very easy for me to account for latency. And I tried even without lag when I was running it on the Prime. It's still fucking clean. I find that putting Magic Johnson as the release 2 to your custom jump shot will make the There's a sweet spot you have to hit with jump shots. It will increase that sweet spot dramatically. Now, I was testing this with a few jumpers, and you guys are gonna be looking at the footage right now. Alright, the jumper I tested this on, I call this bitch new. Alright, and it started off with Deron Williams base, which I haven't tried before, so you can see I'm trying to do new things to see which jump shots work best for me. I put Deron Williams base, the James Harden release 1. You guys know James Harden is the release to my OG, always gonna be the GOAT release. And then I have Magic Johnson at the end. But the key for me was finding a split that worked. So it's gonna be 15% Magic Johnson. So I don't have the ugliness that is the Magic Johnson release, but I still have that fucking buffer at the very end of it. And that buffer is important, but because without that buffer, if you're experiencing any sort of delay or latency, you're not gonna be able to make your shot. And so I initially put this jumper on, and if you guys remember in the brown shirt anti-up video, I was playing with Axel, and we were just fucking shooting around. We were just practicing. I was like, yo, you want to run up some park after we finish recording? And I was practicing this jumper. I hopped on today. I was practicing this jumper, and I'm like, yo, this is my new A1 jumper. In any time there's latency or lag. Now you guys know that the base 49 Stephen Curry release is always gonna be my A1 release when it comes to peak conditions. But I haven't seen peak conditions on the park for 2 months. It's legit been getting slowly laggier and laggier, and so I'm just kind of creating some new shit that works. This release right here, I'm telling you, is 100% gold. The Q, if you guys are wondering, the second he reaches the top of his jumper, let it go. Don't let go when you feel like you should let go because that buffer is gonna help you. And so just release as you would, as if it wasn't lagging or there wasn't any latency, and it's gonna go in. That's the beautiful part of it. You don't have to do any extra thinking. It's just like a regular release. So of course, since I found that out, I was like, yo, can I do Magic Johnson with a bunch of other releases and make everything a fucking green machine? And so I'm experimenting with a ton of jumpers right now. So you guys know this is my A1 release when it's not lagging. I'm like, but if it is lagging, then what the fuck do I do? You stick Magic Johnson at the end of it. It's literally, and excuse me for being corny as fuck, magic. I'm not fucking lying to y'all. Nade EXE, Nadex, thank you, bro. Cause when I did that fucking video with your jumper, I found out some gold that I would have never fucking gave the Magic Johnson release a chance. In what fucking planet would I give that release a chance? None, because it looks so fucking ugly, you would never think. See, now I'm going through Shaq, I'm going through Duckworth, I'm going through all the ugly releases because if this shit right here is gold, I might have just landed on a fucking gold mine. Now I want to get in depth with the jumper real quick because because there's some pros and cons to it. Now, the biggest pro for me is when I'm taking a shot that's leaning, it is a lot easier for me to get greens. Like if I lean on a shot, to be honest, I'm not truly worried. I know I can come back from that. As long as I release the ball properly, it's going in. When it comes to limitless range, this release is so juicy. It's probably where it comes out best. It's a phenomenal limitless range release, almost as good as my A1 base 49 Curry release. Almost. One of the negatives is it leans too often. There's some shots to be taken, I'm like, yo, did this have to be leaning? And it is, and that's the same problem my OG release has, is sometimes you'll lean on shots that you shouldn't be leaning on, and it could be frustrating, especially if it happens too often. But for the most part, I'm releasing nice on them. Maybe one thing if I miss those, but it's still good releases coming out of them, so I'm not too worried about it. This release is also a quick one. Now, you guys know I don't necessarily hate slow releases, so if a release is slow, there's nothing that counts against it as long as it can shoot through contests. So this jump shot is quick and it does a decent job of shooting through contests. Not as good as a slow release, obviously, but because you're getting your shot off quicker, the idea is you're not going to be contested as much, and so just being all right at it is good in and of itself. And the release works on everything, whether it's Pro-Am, whether it's park, stage, my court, it doesn't matter. It works for everything. You're seeing me shoot on the fucking Pro-Am now, but it shoots just as good on the park. So it's a beautiful thing when a jump shot can shoot across all types of different sliders. That means that shit is truly something. It's a jack of all trades release right here. I don't get too high off the ground when I'm shooting my jump shot, so that can be an issue, but it also is part of the reason why this is a quick release. So I'm not 100%, it's not something I worry about ever, but it is like, I prefer jump shots like my base 49 where it gets off the floor a lot higher, and so it's more difficult to contest. But this jump shot takes contest pretty well, and for the most part, since I get it off so quick, I don't have to deal with it too often, but it's definitely a con. And the last thing I want to mention is the fucking moving shots, man. I haven't taken any of them online in the park, so I can't tell you if it's wavy, but I can tell you my experience on all the jump shots I've created that when a jump shot doesn't jump high, when it stays close to the floor, it usually makes for an incredibly accurate moving shot. So if you're a playmaker and you like to be on the moving shot, especially from the mid-range, I doubt it'd be something you have to worry about. Like these jump shots, for the most, I haven't found a jump shot where he jumps slow, low to the floor, and it's not a good shot moving. So I mean, it's clean as fuck. It shouldn't be too difficult to get greens from mid-range. And if you're a shot creator from 3-point land as well, or if you're a sharpshooter and you got limitless range and you're feeling like it. Anyway, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new, link in the description if you guys are trying to come through to the meetup. It's gonna be litty, alright? Come on. I'm actually excited. It's the first time I'm doing anything like this, and it's cool it's happening in a venue and not just like out in the middle of fucking nowhere with like, alright, what do we do now? So at least there's gonna be stuff to do there, a lot of fucking people. There's a couple videos on the screen. If you haven't watched them, go ahead and do so. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.